Sony, Microsoft, and Nintendo are all going to be skipping E3 2023. This is kind of insane because I do feel like the Electronic Entertainment Expo has been trying to make a comeback. Ever since 2020, their attendance, their viewership, their general interest has been on a very heavy decline. But now, this sounds like, truly to me, this sounds like the death of E3. But let's look at the official talks and the report because this to me is kind of insane. What's up, gamers? DreamcastGuy here. Hi, hope you're having a great day. Please like this video and subscribe if you haven't already. I actually was just sitting down to eat my gigantic batch of quesadillas as this happened. But here we go. We're going to be talking about the news. Exclusive over on IGN.com. Xbox, Nintendo, and Sony are all choosing to not play part of E3 2023. All three of the gaming's first-party console manufacturers are poised to skip E3's big return. Now, honestly, this report to me is partially shocking just because, honestly, this year seems like it's going to be enormous for video games in general. It does feel like Xbox is already trying to crank out a ton of exclusives. Obviously, Nintendo is really spinning things up for what may be the last year of the standard Nintendo Switch. PlayStation 5 has kind of been killing it. But here, according to this report, IGN has heard from multiple knowledgeable sources that Xbox, Sony, and Nintendo will not be part of E3 2023 or have a presence at the Los Angeles Convention Center show floor, which means straight up, they're not going to have demo booths. They're not going to be doing a press conference. This is bonkers. Now, the reason this is just so crazy is because only last week, there was this statement from Phil Spencer where he made it seem like he was planning to go to E3. His official terminology was, E3 is a convenient time for press and even consumers at the event. So it seems like what he's trying to say is that they're probably going to rent out like a building up the street and make it where even if they're not officially at E3, they're still going to be doing their own talks, their own press conference, their own hype about their games. But man, them not being there is kind of insane. Especially because, honestly, I like when Nintendo does their big directs. One of my favorite things I've ever witnessed, although I didn't get to go there myself, was when they built the huge Breath of the Wild zone at E3, where Nintendo pretty much showed you what felt like a big commercial for the Nintendo Switch Zelda. Man, look at this. E3 to me is a seminal moment of gaming. I love the history of going to LA. Thousands of people getting to see great new things, getting to see people in the industry, the fan events that we've had. I definitely want that to continue. So this is the other extremely weird part of this. Xbox is on the board of the ESA. I think a successful and healthy ESA is critical to what we're trying to do. Basically, the ESA is the company that kind of owns E3 as an event. So it's weird that E3 backing out or everybody backing out, even the people that are on the board of the ESA. I don't know how this is even possible. Xbox's current plans for the showcase remain unconfirmed, but in previous years it held a showcase, preview events, and press mixers. Internally, Xbox has received sudden layoffs and other cuts, forcing it to tighten its belt following a year that saw virtually no major releases. Now, I know some people are going to take that as mega Xbox hate, but I think objectively we can agree 2022 was incredibly light. I guess they came out with Flight Simulator on Xbox, Pentiment, and Grounded. But other than that, I can't even think of a major Xbox game that came out since 2021 with Halo and Forza. So them trying to cut their budget and maybe not do a $10,000 presentation, or actually, no, it's more than that. I've heard that some of these companies will spend $10,000 just to rent a tiny booth at E3, and your total budget for like a big live stream press conference like Square Enix has put on, a lot of times those end up being, millions and millions of dollars that could better be spent on development or a demo or something like that. Now, I just tweeted this out. This news literally broke 9 minutes ago. I'm filming this the second it happened. as my delicious quesadillas slowly grow cold. And I just tweeted out, yo, what the heck? And somebody said, with every company usually tending to do their own direct on YouTube or something, are you really that surprised? I think the reason I am genuinely shocked is because E3 has been such a classic staple of the industry. It's a time to build hype. It's a time with dedicated eyeballs. It's a time where people are going to be paying very close attention to your game, whether it is big or small. E3, even if you think the event has kind of sucked at times, it's been something that's helped sell indie games. It's something that's helped get attention. There's a lot of big, crazy games that you have played that straight up exist because of secret meetings that happened during E3. So the fact that, honestly, they're not doing any sort of presentation, to me, is still just... It's something that I feel like is truly a big deal, even if we don't fully understand it yet. Now, it sounds like other people are going to be still trying to do their own showcase probably in that month. I mean, Sony is definitely hyping up for a big, crazy year with, obviously, we know we're getting Final Fantasy 16, Spider-Man 2, stuff like the Horizon Forbidden West DLC. Man, I think everybody is probably going to still do their own style of presentation around the time in June when E3 happens. Maybe they'll choose to participate in Summer Games Fest or something instead, but I fully expect we're going to get a State of Play. I guarantee we're going to get another Xbox Developer Direct and, of course, a Nintendo Direct, because there is way too much happening for these companies to stay silent. There's too much for these companies to just try and sit out of an event. Man, I can only assume, and this is completely a shot in the dark, I think they're sitting out purely because of budgeting reasons. A lot of times E3, there has been rumors that it's just getting more and more expensive to even do a show, to even actually show up to E3 is such a massively pricey endeavor. And I mean, that is kind of wasted cash in a time where budgets definitely matter. Xbox's decision not to have a formal E3 presence comes as a surprise given its support for the event in the past. Of the so-called Big E3, of the Big Three, meaning Nintendo, Microsoft, and Sony, it's appeared the most at E3. Man. What do you guys think about this, though? Are you surprised by it? Honestly, to me, this is insane. I think this is undoubtedly the death of E3. I don't think that the Electronic Entertainment Expo is ever coming back. I think that this is the final nail in the coffin. Whether you love it or whether you hate it, I'm still going to be tuning in this year, but it sounds like Summer Games Fest is probably going to take the center spotlight. Well, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, give it a big old thumbs up, share it with your friends, and subscribe if you haven't already, and please keep dreaming. Oh my God, so I have all this salsa here. Oh God, yes. I'm so hungry.